Along the west coast of Vancouver Island, most who see footage like this will describe it as beautiful and pristine. But if you zoom in, a different picture is painted. The water off the Zabalas Inlet has a disturbing shine. Tainted water lapping on the rocks and along the shore just days after a diesel spill on December 14th, 2024.
It's starting to smell a little bit fishy, to be quite honest.
Now, questions are being raised about the role those responsible for the spill and their cleanup effort.
Why would you put a bank robbery in charge of investigating their own robbery?
Nuchatlet First Nation biologist Roger Dunlop, who was on the water shortly after the spill, is putting a spotlight on the whole process, saying it's fundamentally flawed.
It took 46 days for the sampling actually to get done, and there were big delays. Even though it's a polluter pay, they should pay for doing this responsibly.
Dunlop's analysis shows sites chosen by the Spill Response's Unified Command contain nearly 10 times more oil contamination than what he found in the data. He argues this made the spill's environmental impact appear far less severe than it truly was.
I was absolutely surprised in how clear the province communicated the concerns with the delay.
Stan Probosch is a senior scientist at the Watershed Watch Salmon Society. Once he heard of the spill, he made a Freedom of Information request.
These documents suggest that they have a key role in actually organizing and potentially even controlling the response.
Internal communications show emails between a senior environmental emergency response officer and an emergency scientist at Environment and Climate Change Canada, noting there seems to be more effort on refining the plan than executing it, a sudden lack of urgency for sampling, and work being canceled or delayed despite provincial and federal approval. CHEK News did reach out to the company who owns the fish farm, the province, and the Department of Fisheries and Oceans, and so far, no response. Now, there are calls for change.
There needs to be some sort of independent body kind of calling the shots.
They could easily put the containment in there and prevent it. Prevention is way cheaper and less painful than cleaning up the mess.
For 6 months, the spill prevented shellfish harvesters from accessing oysters, clams, and important species for local First Nations, hurting the local economy and disrupting traditional ways of life.